Hi everybody, Salty Stark here, and today we're going to be talking about Spires of Ascension. I got asked, what do you recommend for how to do Spire Ascension and stuff like that, so I'm just going to go into a simple guide. We're currently going to be on the main just because it's what I'm more comfortable with. I haven't really gotten too far yet. I think I got to 58 on global for it, but basically all that you really need for Spire's Ascension if you're Orby anyways is Tion, I think. There's multiple different things you can run for Spire's Ascension. The reason why you want to run Spire's Ascension is because there's many really good rewards in it, especially now after the overhaul that is on global. And you also want to be able to do all these challenges. These challenges get you all these tokens that go into your Spire over here, and basically you can level all this up to max. As far as the points going into Spire's Ascension, you want to mainly work on your Summoner power and your Immortal power. And then people want to say to just completely avoid this, but I mean, when you have the extra slots to do it, I do recommend filling it up, because Monster Recovery Received and Monster Recovery Given, or Monster Recovery Given and Summoner Recovery Received, at least for Orbia, is important. Summoner Recovery Given for Orbia really isn't, but that's alright. That, and then these down here, you definitely want to eventually upgrade these too, because it basically makes you stronger to fight each element. Either you take less damage and you do more damage, so that's very important. But your main two focus should be to max these two towers first. So as far as how to get those tokens though, like I said, you just have to do 3 different challenges. So challenge level 1, you'll get this bare basic token. Challenge level 2, you'll get the token of guard, and then challenge level 3, you'll get the Raha medal. And then you just go over here and just upgrade just like that. It's very easy to do. It does get very expensive really quick though, so be advised of that. But as far as actually doing levels and stuff like that, you're gonna have to get imaginative sometimes, but all I really do a lot of the time is I'll run Tion, very solid unit. I just re-ruined everything, so. But for Orby anyways, I'll just run Tion, like I said, very solid unit. Grab like a Chloe. And then I personally like to run Iona, that way if Tion ever goes down, Iona will instantly res. But you can also run something like Juno, Bastet, that way you can extra mana, that way you can be permanently rotating and have no downtime for the Chloe's invincibility. But obviously this does not work on every level due to the fact that, you know, invincibility will not work on every level. We'll go over levels like that, as well as sometimes you just won't have the damage to get through every level. I do recommend before going in to try to hit bonus if you can. So like here, I can just throw in these and I'll hit slightly hard. I'll go in with that. And then I'll throw in my actual team afterwards. And just like this, we just start going in. Don't mind the keyboard too much. I'm gonna just try to click for the most part. Actually, I'll just throw it on auto, just because I can. But this is all I'm really trying to do is, I actually have this wrong too, but all I wanted to do is spam this Q as much as possible, and hopefully I'll have like 0 downtime while it's happening. That way I can permanently have everything up. If anything drops for a second, I just hope that Tion can live fast enough, or one of the 2 heals that we have to go through. Since this is the fire, or the light, the Wind Valkyrie. My apologies for that mess of a sentence. It does hit. Its ulti does strip, so that's why Tion died there. But lot of these situations, you know, this works pretty well, especially if you have Iona, because instead of having Chloe in, I'll just have Iona, and it'll cause this permanent like Iona reses Tion. Tion has his invulnerability back in time, or long enough for Iona to get her res back, and it just goes into this permanent cycle. So I personally use Iona. There's other units that you could probably use to do the same job. Talisha comes to mind, the Dark Undyne. She's really strong for this. Like I said, Chloe Juno is really strong. Chloe Vestet's not bad because Vestet gives 1 mana when the summoner's at full HP on her shield skill. But levels to look out for, I believe it's this one. It might not be this one. Nope. That one actually does look a little dicey, but I think it's 73 then. So this one's pretty dicey for a new player. Just because it's a bunch of strips and stuff like that. So what I did for this one in particular is I did Tion, Iona, Darien. That way Darien's causing the provokes and Iona can res and then get into that cycle of having Darien constantly provoking while Iona's resing Darien. What I'm currently stuck at right now is 58 on global, so, or 59 I mean. Just because they have a lot of stuns and freezes and stuff like that, so a good immunity unit would be good here, or Annabelle, for example, if you got Annabelle from the current banner, because Annabelle will, every 4 seconds, will cleanse a unit of all CC. So, and then it gets pretty easy all the way up to about 93, I want to say was the next, like, hard one. Nope. It is 95. 95 is pretty rough because it's a little bit of a DPS slash healing check. Or there's a little bit of everything. You have a DPS check in there. You have a tank test with the Dark Sky Dancer and the Jubilees applying unrecoverable. So that one gets a little rough. And then 97 right now in global will be the hardest stage. I did Tion, Colleen, Argon for this one my first time through. But there's other multiple different ways, you know. This stuff's mainly for Orbia, by the way. I don't know how well it works for Cleef or Kina. I recommend trying between doing Tion and using Mav between the two, because Mav's skill acceleration is really nice in order to keep circulating mana for the ones that don't generate as much mana as Orbia, because Orbia does generate a lot of mana. Other than that, a lot of the time you might just have to press through a level by, you know, not cheesing it. Like this one, for example, you might just have to, you know, build. I had to build Argon in particular. I didn't have Argon built at the time. Obviously, you know, now that I have it built, I'm never going back because the unit's just so good. But like now Juno's in the game, so Juno probably would make this a lot easier. I believe at the time of clearing this, I didn't have Juno built or used, so Juno would probably make this a lot easier. In fact, we can just test it right now. So I have to do it this way, because we do not currently have everything. Is this my good set? Yeah, I have a really good Argon set, so obviously not everyone's always able to do this kind of stuff, but you want to try to, again, hit the best penalty you can. I think whenever I did this, I was on very hard still. I'm gonna take Dark Orbia, I think. We'll see when we get in there. It might be a Wind Orbia kind of angle, that way I can rotate better. But now we're gonna take Fire Orbia, that way I can kill these Wind Howls as early as possible, and then we'll go from there. So you get a lot of like leeway on moving and stuff like that. Like I'm walking all the way over here and there's not doing anything. But we're just gonna go in on it. Obviously this is a lot easier this time around, but first time this would have been, it took me a lot longer to do this kind of stuff, so don't get discouraged if it's slow going at first. We're actually going to switch to wind here. And then we're going to start getting onto the Tetras. Now we have ulti, we're going to switch to Argon. Just ult the other Tetra, that way we can get some splash damage down on everyone. Get a heal down, and then we'll switch back. She'll hopefully strip that shield. She did. Tetras are down, and then we'll work on these. Oh, lost Tion in the process, but we should be able to finish this up anyways. It shouldn't be the biggest deal breaker in the game. In fact, we'll just switch something else in. We'll just go with Bastet. Get some shielding going for ourselves. We're gonna actually switch to Fire real quick, because Fire... The nice thing about Fire is it deals with a wide range of like units, because the burn's just really strong earlier in the game, I dare to say. We're gonna ult with Juno because it'll heal everyone. And then we'll just take care of this last Mystic Witch. And then it should just be as easy as 1, 2, 3. We're gonna wait a little bit, let these skills come up off cooldown. That way we can quickly finish this. So now that she used the strip, we got the burn down, we're just gonna start spamming with the Argon. And Argon, as you can see, Argon took her down really quickly. But basically this was an easier way for me to do, or not, I wouldn't say easier, this is actually a harder way for me to do this, but since I'm a higher level than before, I'm allowed to do it that way now. But for me, the clean was like made it really easy to do the first time around. Like I think it only took me like 4 attempts after I put clean in. So you definitely want like an unrecoverable for that stage in particular, and it has to be quick due to Tetra's ability. If we take a look, sorry, I like clicking on random stuff. I know I'm a monster. If we look at Tetra's ability, she decreases duration of harmful effects by 5 seconds, and since there's 2 of them, it'll decrease. Basically, they'll hit the same target and just quickly decrease those harmful effects. So you want to do a lot of splash damage as well as a lot of single target onto units that are low. That way, you can make sure to finish off every low unit, and it makes it a lot easier and a lot quicker that way. But you want to at least have the... As Orbia, it feels really nice to, you know, be able to burn like 4 or 5 different targets at one time by keeping them grouped up and then using the clean. This is also another thing just in general. You really do want to try to group up the units as best you can while you're in Spire. That way you're hitting, you know, you're optimizing your amount of damage the best you can. So, but that's all I pretty much have. If you guys found the video helpful or enjoyed the video, please subscribe. We are trying to beat Baker's Goods at the moment. I think we're slowly catching up, hopefully, but we still got ways to go. So thank you guys for your time and have a good one. Make sure to put Baker's Bads on all of Baker's Goods videos, and make sure to like mine and his videos if you do go watch his. He is a interesting guy in terms of stuff he picks. So thank you. Have a good one. See you guys later.